In 1 month, the 1 month they tracked it, it was $120 million at one hospital. I don't know if you know this, but illegal aliens, they'll come in, they'll use the emergency room as primary care and never pay the bill. 120 million at one hospital in 1 month.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I know. That honestly blew my mind. And it also blew my mind that no one even thought to track it. So the more we track it, the more we actually kind of dig into the numbers, the worse it is. There's no net economic benefit. And let me ask you this, because I know you're talking about the economy and people looking for a better life. Let's assume that that's true. It's not true of all illegal aliens, by the way. And that's why we have the crime problems that we have in a lot of these cities, namely sanctuary cities. But don't you think that it's imperative that the United States government looks out for people who are already here first if they're looking for work? So 7.5 million Americans are looking for work. Why do we need to import people to do those jobs cheaper than Americans? And if you look at under the Biden administration, foreign-born workers, jobs, when they say job increases, it was about 3 million new jobs for people who weren't from the United States. Americans lost about 1.5 million jobs if they were born here. The first few months of Donald Trump's presidency, now it's about 1.5 million native-born working jobs gained and 1 million foreign-born working jobs lost. That shows a difference in approach. It shows a difference in priorities. I think our priority should be to Americans living here first who are looking for jobs. When you import people to do them, you just rob Americans of the opportunity to do those jobs, and the numbers show that they'll do them. Yeah.
I agree with that point, like, somewhat, but if, like, illegal immigrants are coming here, like, I would say a majority of them are coming here looking for work. I wouldn't say a majority of them are coming here looking to, like, cause havoc.
I didn't say that. I just said not all of them are.
Yeah, like, if a majority of people are coming here looking for work, shouldn't, like, America with its capitalist, like, ideology, shouldn't, like, more talented, like, migrant workers get the roles compared to, like, someone who's, like, less talented but just born here natively?
Can you explain to me how a migrant is going to be more talented as a truck driver? How a migrant is going to be more talented at a meat packing plant?
What if they have more experience from the country they came from, and then they went here because, like, economically they could get paid more for the same work?
Yeah, so it'd be pretty hard to argue that case because people go through training to do these jobs, and some of them are unskilled jobs. So we've heard for a long time, who's going to pick your strawberries, right? Who's going to till the fields? Well, Americans did it. Who's going to mow your lawns? Well, Americans did it. And now the argument has shifted to, well, really highly skilled labor, for example, H-1Bs and Indians coming in here, coming to this country working in tech. And they'll do it for 30%, 40% less than the American wage, but they're not any better. So if Americans aren't good enough for low-skilled labor, they're not good enough for high-skilled labor, sounds to me like people are saying Americans aren't good enough for any labor, and you have plenty of Americans who are ready, willing, and able to do those jobs. They just can't do them because they're competing against third-world labor costs. I don't think that there aren't enough skilled Americans to do these jobs. If someone wants to argue picking strawberries, fine. I still disagree, but let's assume that. You can't then extend that to also retail, also truck driving, also trade jobs, also highly skilled tech jobs. At what point do you say, hey, Americans matter too, they should be able to get jobs? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
And let me ask you this, why do you think it's incumbent upon the United States to accept anyone who wants to come here?
Well,
like, do you have a general problem with the idea of borders and ensuring the well-being of our people here first?
Well, I don't have a general problem with, like, borders itself, because obviously it's, like, important to keep, like, national security and whatnot. And a lot of people, like, actually apply for visas.